Why scalp scrubs are essential for hair growth and the science behind it. So your hair journey begins at the scalp, the root of healthy, strong, and fuller hair. If your scalp is congested or unbalanced, your follicles can't function properly. These are your follicles right here. So let's break down the science of the scalp health and why exfoliating is very critical for hair growth. The scalp is skin, but with over 100,000 hair follicles, it's oilier and more active than skin anywhere else on the body. It produces sebum, which is your natural oil, sweat, and collects dead skin cells just like your face does. Over time, a mix of sebum, which is oil, dead skin cells, product residue like gel, dry shampoo, or different kinds of oils that you don't wash properly, pollution, and sweat. They can lead to buildup on the scalp, which creates a sticky layer and settles around the follicular opening, causing blockages. So, what happens without scalp exfoliation or clarifying the scalp? When you don't clarify the scalp or exfoliate regularly, there's three key issues that can happen. The first one is follicular occlusion. So follicular occlusion is buildup that clogs the upper part of the hair follicle, and this prevents oxygen from reaching the follicle and traps bacteria, fungi, and DHT, the hormone that is responsible for hair loss. Number two, itching and inflammation. So the body treats buildup like a threat. It freaks out, and then you experience itching, redness, and flaking, or inflammation, which is also termed as folliculitis. It creates a hostile environment for hair growth. When you have inflammation, you have hair thinning and shedding. So a lot of buildup is starting to. So blocked follicles get suffocated and hair strands become thinner, growth slows down, and eventually the follicle starts to miniaturize, become smaller, or go dormant. And you might notice hair that is not growing as fast, less volume, or even patchy hair loss, which a lot of people are experiencing right now. A good scalp scrub does three key things. The first thing is it exfoliates the stratum corneum. It is the outermost layer of the scalp, scrubs and sloughs off the dead skin cells and unclogs the follicular opening. So when you scrub, it cleans out the scalp. It balances the sebum levels. So many scrubs include ingredients like salicylic acid, tea tree oil, or charcoal, which help remove excess oil and balance the scalp microbiome, which supports healthier hair follicles. It improves blood circulation. Blood circulation is very important for blood hair growth. So massaging motion from scrub stimulates blood flow. Better circulation equals more oxygen and nutrients to the follicle, which means better hair growth. It is very important to keep the scalp clean. So what you're risking without scalp massage is follicular suffocation, hair strand miniaturization, which means getting smaller, increased shedding, weakened regrowth potential, and poor product absorption. So whatever products you use for hair growth, they're not going to work. Now that you know why a clean scalp is key, let's look at the 5 easy scalp scrubs that you can make at home to kickstart your hair journey and bring life back into your roots. I'm going to give you these 5 scalp scrubs right now. Okay, so the first scalp scrub is activated 1 tablespoon of activated charcoal, half teaspoon of salicylic acid powder, and you mix it with water to make a thick paste, and then you apply it to the roots of your scalp. You want to make sure that you are covering all areas of the scalp, especially where you feel the follicle is more congested, where you start to feel folliculitis, you start to get hair and scalp pimples, which mostly people call it is scalp acne. So make sure you apply more to that area. Make enough for your scalp. So if you feel like you need more, you can obviously make more. And it does make your scalp burn. If you do have folliculitis, if you do have scalp acne, your scalp is going to feel a burning sensation, which is perfectly okay, because after you wash it out after 30 minutes with lukewarm water, and a regular shampoo. And after you wash it out, you are going to feel like hardening of the skin, and that's going to slough off over time very, very slowly. And therefore, that is going to help clarify your scalp. Okay, scrub number 2. You're going to use 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of rose petal powder. You're going to use coffee and glycolic acid. The glycolic acid is obviously a liquid, so you're going to just add enough to make it into a paste. There is no specific amount that you need. You just have to add enough to make it into a paste. And then you're going to apply it to the roots of your scalp. Make sure that you don't really need to cover the hair, because the scalp is the main area that you need to really exfoliate very well. Now, this is not going to be like a scrub that is very, very thick, so you won't need to scrub it too much, but the sugar is going to make it feel very sticky. So what you're going to do is apply it to your scalp. Make sure the consistency is a little bit wet, otherwise it's going to be very hard to apply to your scalp. And then you're just going to tie your hair up and then wash it after 30 minutes. These scalp scrubs should not be kept on the scalp for more than 30 minutes, because that could be very, very harmful for your scalp, and this could cause further inflammation, further itchiness and flaking of the scalp. So be very mindful. Have a timer on 30 minutes, and you're going to wash it with your regular shampoo and lukewarm water. The third one is you have to have a bowl like this that I'm showing you. You're going to use yogurt, you're going to use fenugeek powder, and then you're going to keep it for 3 hours before you go ahead and apply it. And the reason for that is because the fenugreek powder is going to expand in the yogurt. So when it expands, it's going to become a very thick consistency. But when you are mixing at that time, it's going to be very thin consistency. And you will see so you have to mix it. You have to keep it covered with cellophane wrap for 3 hours. Let it swell. And then after you swell, you're going to apply it to your scalp. You're going to scrub it a little bit because it's going to be very grainy. So that's going to help slough off the dead skin cells. If you feel your scalp irritating even further, then don't use this scrub, because you don't want to keep scrubbing at open wounds. Especially if you have open wounds, then don't use these scrubs. Let those wounds heal before you use any of these scrubs. Okay. Number 4, you're going to use flaxseed gel, uh, flaxseed powder, which is called kalonji powder, and then fenugreek powder. And this is going to cause a reaction in which your scalp is going to start to calm down. So this is also for scalp inflammation, scalp irritation, and this will help slough off the dead skin cells from your scalp, and your scalp is going to feel much more lighter. You're going to feel it physically that your scalp is able to breathe better. It's going to feel a lot more airy. It's going to have more oxygen. And oxygen is very, very essential to proper hair growth, not just from within, but also topically. So you're going to use these scrubs 1 to 2 times a month, not 1 to 2 times a week. Make sure you keep this in mind. 1 to 2 times a month. Okay, the last one, you're going to take a xanthan. It's a capsule form. I use the 50 milligram one. If you can find a smaller potency, like 3 milligram or 5 milligram, that's even better, because you should always start from low. But because I always use these, so I can start with 15 milligrams. So you're going to take a xanthan capsule. You're going to open it up. It's going to be a red powder. It's going to be like maroonish red powder. And you're going to put in jojoba oil. So when you put in jojoba oil, you have to keep mixing it, because it's not going to mix very, very quickly. You have to keep mixing it, and it's probably going to take about 15-20 minutes for the powder to completely dissolve in the oil. Once it dissolves in the oil is going to turn a slightly maroon color. And then you're going to apply it to your scalp. Now, I love this scrub. And the reason for that is because I'm going to put the details of each ingredient and how they benefit the scalp in the description box below. So make sure you do check that out. But the reason I love this scrub is because every time I use this scrub, I feel like it not only makes my hair super soft, It also gives so much growth and volume to my hair. Like before, you could have seen my scalp. Like you can still see my scalp here, right? I'm still on my hair growth journey. You can still see my scalp here, but it gives so much new hair growth to the scalp because astaxanthin is a antioxidant. It is a very, very powerful antioxidant. That's why I take it orally as well. But if you apply it to your scalp and it goes to your follicles, it starts to have an anti-aging effect on the hair follicles. It works around the hair follicle. It also goes within the layers to work on the follicle, which is a very, very good thing for you because this means you are creating an anti-aging effect for your scalp, for your hair long term. Because the thing is, when we don't take care of our scalp this way, and we are constantly applying product and we're constantly trying to grow our hair, especially for people who use minoxidil. A lot of people experience that minoxidil doesn't work, and it's solely because your scalp is congested. It has a lot of dead skin on it. It needs to clarify itself. The follicles need to be free of any clogged pores. So it has to be completely clear all around the follicle in order for product to actually go down and work on the bulb of the hair, right? The bulb of the hair is right down here. So using scalp scrubs are actually more important than using hair treatments. So if you are just starting your hair growth journey and you want to start something at home, then start with scalp scrubs. And once you start using scalp scrubs, then you will be able to feel your head is feeling much lighter. Your follicles feel they have a lot more oxygen. There's a lot of movement in your hair. There's a lot of elasticity in your hair, and you will actually feel the difference. So start your hair growth journey with scalp scrubs today. Choose one and use it today. And then let me know in the comments down below which one you chose and how did you feel it helped you or it didn't help you.